Okay, we're about to go. You ready?
Yeah.
So welcome from your living rooms, your kitchen tables, your kids' bedrooms on the makeshift desks. This is the Working From Home Survival Guide.
You're working from home and sometimes that can be hard to do, and you need a little help. Oh yes, it's true. So take a listen to the Working From Home Survival Guide. Na 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 na. Oh, it is the Working From Home Survival Guide.
Isn't that good? So yeah, anyway, like obviously this is the first time we're hearing this. We've just had someone write that for us. So welcome properly to the Working From Home Survival Guide. My name is Simon McCaskill of Leeds Boost, Digital Boost Academy. New title at Google Master Faculty now. Sounds good, doesn't it? And I'm joined by Victoria McCaskill. How are you, Victoria?
I'm good. I feel like I have to wave. I still at 6 months and I'm still waving on Zoom calls and stuff.
Can't do enough waving. Keep the waving going. That is fantastic. So lovely to have you here. We'll learn more, ask you some more questions in a second. So what is this and what is this about? So this is the brainchild of Leeds Beard and Ambition and Diane Wainwright. We know you're working from home. You have been for a while. We'll get into the details. So we thought Leeds Bid and Ambition thought, what could we do to maybe wrap up some of the tips and tricks of how we can make the best out of these challenging times. So Victoria, same name. Victoria's my wife. Is that correct, Victoria?
Yes, it is.
Victoria, are you working from home?
I am. I very much am working from home, from the kitchen today. But yeah, I am working from home.
So we do
amongst other things.
We do live together. I know my I'm not obviously sat in the kitchen with you right now. We're on a Zoom call, which is probably weird. It's probably good for a relationship, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the garage. So Victoria gets the house and I get the garage, which has been one of our survival tactics through lockdown and working from home.
I would like to say we do let you out of there. It is an office in the garage.
I get a couple of hours a day coming out.
Yeah.
I'm allowed. Yeah.
Just a few.
So a more serious question, Victoria. How have you coped since lockdown? And I'm talking original lockdown, kind of March time.
Yeah, it's a funny one, isn't it? For me, it wasn't a massive change because part of my normal working life was aspects of working from home. So I appreciate the shift wasn't too big a shift for me, but it's all the other things that comes with it, isn't it? It's kind of like the family life. We've got children, so it was actually homeschool, working from home, and doing everything else. And I think that was the big change in terms of trying to fit it all in and stay focused.
And people have done well. Some people have struggled. Let's be totally honest. We're obviously in a second phase of lockdown now. They've said there's a period of time. Why now more than ever is this important to get our heads around it, do you think?
Well, I think we're probably at the point of burnout. You know, I liken it to the car that might be sat in your drive with a flat battery because you've not been anywhere recently. You know, we all need that jump start again, don't we? And it's really hard, especially going into winter now. We've had the luxury of working from home at a time when we could go out and have breaks and walks and things, and they're really, really important to do. But now we're going into the winter time, and yes, this vaccine's on the horizon, which is fantastic, but it doesn't mean that everything's going to change overnight. We've still got a period of time where we've got to see what kind of, you know, this next hybrid version of working from home looks like.
Big unknown, challenging times. So let's get into this. Let's get into what this is about. A little disclaimer for anybody that's joining us now. This is a pre-record. It won't be in the future. This will be live. This is very much us almost giving you a sneak peek of what's going to come in this series. And that's what it is. So let me get into this with the first start to this. And I hope you don't mind. I have another jingle for It's Friday. Here goes. It might be loud, but...
It's Friday!
You should do an air guitar there.
I should. I'll do something in the edit afterwards. So it is Friday. This is a chance to celebrate. We made it through another week. Well done, everybody. Now, when we were briefed with putting this together, Diane, and I remember these words very, very detailed. She said, it wants to be lighthearted. So I might have taken that to a different level. I don't know. She hasn't seen this yet, so this might be interesting. But you know what we are doing? We're going to have a schedule of these. These are on Fridays. You'll see all the dates. It is a celebration. It's a celebration, the end of that week, looking forward to the weekend, looking back, tips and tricks. But you know what? We're not taking ourselves too seriously here. We're trying to play a little bit of the light-hearted card in a very serious time. So I hope that's okay. So with that, Victoria, how's this week been for you?
It's been good. It's been good, yeah.
Any big news this week?
I feel like you're alluding to something. Would you like me to show the person that's kind of sat near me at the moment?
Can I just? You have a person sat near you.
Well, a little person.
Work. Go on. Let's have a look.
Come on here. Come on.
Just to let you know, that's not our children.
Doing really well. Come here.
I hope it's not a child. Anyway, this would be.
I'm a lockdown cliche. So,
who's this?
Yes, working from home has now taken on another challenge of this little person.
Why not?
Big
Why
news
not?
in the house.
Why not bring something else into it? And what's she called? Hello.
She's called Alba.
Alba. Welcome, Alba. Welcome along. Working from home. Hello. Hello.
I wonder how many other people are out there with their cats and dogs, and that could be a feature. Send us your pet pictures. That
would be good, wouldn't it? We see lots of tales coming across Zoom calls. So let me get into this. Thank you. Let me get into this and tell you what the agenda is that we're going to cover. So Victoria's going to cover the World of Work wrap up. Then I'm going to do the deep dive. Be a bit more of a summary of what's to come. We're going to hand over to Victoria for expert opinion, and Victoria will be reaching out to people in and around Leeds with your opportunity to get involved in this. How can we make this a good time? Then we'll do a little found it on the internet before something for the weekend. So with that said, let me hand it over to you, Victoria, for the first one, the World of Work wrap up. And before I start, are you happy with this title?
Yeah, I think so. I feel like something's coming.
Nothing wrong with the World of Work wrap up.
Well, it's the spelling of wrap is what I'm worried about.
Yeah, I knew that. Do you know what? This is my.
I'm not gonna wrap this if that's what you're.
Well, that's what I was hoping you were going to do. Is that not going to be possible? No. So my spelling is bad, but I've actually done this one on purpose because I've also done you a jingle as well.
Oh wow!
Do you want it?
Go on then.
Okay, get ready for this. You ready?
Yeah. KDK. Check. Corrupt the killer. Yeah. We gon' vibe. Word of work, gotta wrap it up. Take my jack off the hanger and I packed it up. It's a 9 to 5, gotta get in my car, yeah, I feel alive. See, I love my music, there's a you and I, but the S in between stands for stress in life. Oh well, I gotta blast off the highway, cause I'm 5 minutes late, doing my way. Procrastinate till my break, don't find me. Yeah, I love it and I hate it like high sway.
Oh dear, I feel like
but I work from home, no need for changing clothes, I just keep my PJs on. Let me make a hot tea to see what's going on. I gotta go. Word of work, wrap up is on. Gotta go. Yeah, and it's on.
So I asked. Still going. I asked for a jingle a small jingle, and I got a full rap song about the world of work.
I don't know how to follow that, really.
No pressure, no pressure. So, Victoria, what's been happening in the world of work?
Okay, I think we've kind of just alluded to it at the beginning here, but we're at this funny time, aren't we? We're almost at this crossroads. At the start of the year in March, we were all almost like superhumans. You know, we took on this challenge of let's stay home, let's stay safe, very seriously. But we were like athletes. We were doing Joe Wicks workouts on a morning. You know, we were just trying to kind of get everything. There you go. Some families and people doing Joe Wicks. You know, we were on the Zoom calls. We were trying to, you know, do home learning, and it was just all going on. Yeah, exactly this. Zoom meeting, audio only, Zoom meeting with video. And I think we almost took on a new trend, didn't we? We had the half and half. We had the half work, you know, the half, you can't see my legs, half leisure. Leisure wear, work wear, there needs to be like a new name for that. So yeah, odd, strange times. And we are at the point now where we need to find those superhero capes again, get the capes back that you wore first time around with Joe, because we need to boost the new 9 to 5. Listening to the radio this week, I've been talking to you about this, Simon, about my listening to Jeremy Vine. The big thing this week in all the media has been around winter working from home. So we're going from the lovely summer sunshine, going out for walks, to actually now we're going to be in a lockdown period at home, working from home. Yes, we know vaccines on the horizon, but you know that takes time. So what does it mean? Things like Rug Buddy has been trending on social media this week.
What is Rug Buddy?
Well, Rug Buddy, there are other products out there, I must just say. Rug Buddy is a heating mat that you put underneath your rug when you're sitting at your desk or your table or whatever. And it's like, you think of an electric blanket that goes under your rug. We've seen new brands of kind of fleecy trousers, wraparounds that you put around your legs, you know, heaters, heated vests. Things like this have all started to come out because obviously people are thinking, we're working from home, we don't want to break the bank, you know, with the heating on all the time. And I know we're having a bit of a laugh and a joke about this, but it is serious. These are the considerations that we've got to take into account. You know, we need to make sure we're still getting out and doing our exercise and having that daylight time, because as the nights draw in, it's easy to kind of just sit at your desk and, you know, kind of you miss out on the day, miss out on the things that you would normally do. So I've said it before, it's almost like that jump start of your car. Your battery is flat and we all feel a bit kind of mentally and physically exhausted. So the big message right now is kind of do what you can to make that happen. And I guess the great news is Joe is back, and he's back earlier, 6 a.m. in fact, Joe Wicks. Do you reckon you're going to be doing that, Simon? 15 minutes with Joe at 6 o'clock in the morning?
Oh, what? Do you want the truth or do you want the the answer that I should be giving? Oh, do you know what?
No, seriously, going into winter, you know, what do you think you're going to have to do to make sure that, you know, it's not another burnout or?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. If I'm totally honest, then I think this is the general consensus I'm getting from a lot of people. There was a momentum first time, wasn't there? It's harder now. Good on Joe. Nothing against Joe, but you know what? I think for me personally, like I don't think that's going to be my motivation to be there at 6 a.m. with Joe. Apologies, Joe. And if it is for you, fantastic. But I do think we have to find our own thing that's going to drive us through. What you're absolutely right. You know, the weather makes a huge difference, doesn't it? So we're joking about it, but it could be a tough time. I'm already feeling a little bit different about it than first time round. I think the only caveat is that vaccine that you've alluded to there, and we don't know enough about it yet. We don't know timeframes, but it is almost that light at the end of the tunnel that things might change. things might change.
I think as well, you know, touching on the whole like vaccine thing in the future, and that is brilliant. That is brilliant news that should be celebrated. I think fundamentally the world of work has changed regardless of whether we go back to the office. I don't think it necessarily will be like it was before. I think we've learned so much about flexible working, and there's so much good that's come out of this as well.
Oh, there has. The next slide I've got is this one. What was you thinking behind this picture?
This was the winter working from home. She's clearly cold, isn't she?
Well, that is extreme. I thought you meant like a jacket on or something like that, not curled up in bed. I mean, we're joking about it, but I have seen more and more people on Zoom calls now with their coats on, And at first it was a bit strange. I've been speaking with quite a few people in America where the temperatures have really come down now. But I think it's the new norm. You're wearing that coat indoors, otherwise you're paying to heat an entire house unless you've got a rug buddy, as you alluded to. Okay, thank you, Victoria. And this is going to be a regular segment. We'll try and bring in the latest news, what's happening, just to make sure that you're up to date with everything. Now, the next part is my part. I don't even have a theme tune to my part, which is I've got it wrong there. I need to work on that before the next one. So this is the deep dive, and each week what I will do is really dive down into an area that we feel is absolutely essential when working from home. My background is with Google, and it's very much around mentality and positivity as well, and then the digital side of things, how to bring those digital elements into it. And we're going to do that. We're trying to give you as much as possible in terms of things that are going to help. These are all coming up. What is coming up? Let me give you a little brief overview. We've got Striking the Balance on the 4th of December. This balance word, we're hearing more and more and more. We've heard it a long time before, but it's never more true than right now when we don't have the key moments in our day where it's changing. So what can we do around that? And again, digitally, what can we bring to that to make that easier? Then we'll talk about virtually collaborating. How do you work together in this virtual space? We've come a long way in terms of advances around this digital space over the last, 8-9 months now, 10 months even. But how do we take it further? And how do we make sure that we can keep this going forward? That's on the 18th of December. And then we've got virtually communicating, literally how to show up in our best possible way, how to look our best, feel our best, and really make sure in this virtual space we're able to communicate, which isn't easy. You're picking up those little clues from other people when you can just see them on your screen. And then, believe it or not, we'll be in Christmas before you know it, and we'll come back. That's the 15th of January. And then we'll talk about getting productive in the new year and learning to learn. I think one thing that has come out of this entire pandemic, and it's a shame sometimes it takes a pandemic to drive these things on, is that we need to be adaptable and we need to be excited about learning, and that we are in an amazing place online that we can learn. We have so many resources. Sometimes you just need someone to point these things out, be a bit of a guide for you. And that's very much our role here. With that said, what we'll also do is bring in different sections. And one of these is expert opinion. And Victoria, this is something each time we run this, we're going to come over to you and you're going to bring people in from Leeds and further afield with their expert opinion. Have you done your homework this week?
I've done my homework this week. Yes, I have. Have you got a jingle, or can I?
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, that's good. I was half expecting someone else to kind of segue in.
No jingle. I heard the disappointment in your voice already. Yeah.
You've kind of alluded to it in terms of the expert opinion this time round. You talked about almost like virtual excellence. We've just had probably about 6 months of seeing either our colleagues' foreheads, technical disasters, or many bloopers. I mean, we've had a laugh over some of the things that we've witnessed or stuff that's happened to us along the way. Simon, do you want to say anything? No?
Are you talking about my participant who had a shower?
No.
No. Oh, I won't mention it then.
No, I wasn't.
All
You're gonna
right.
say
Okay.
now.
Awkward. Which one were you talking about?
I thought it was someone that flushed the toilet.
Oh no, oh, that's common toilet flushes. No, I had a full shower. I wasn't in the bathroom with them. They left me in their bedroom / office. I only realized when they came back in a break and were toweling their back with the camera still on. Which obviously, as the ever professional, I took a picture of it. So, oh, sorry, I thought we'd spoke about that.
We haven't. I think, do you know what? I think this goes to show, I think we need to add to the list virtual excellence and etiquette to the list.
Definitely.
You know, people have said to me, like, I don't give away as much through a screen. You know, you don't connect in the same way as you do face to face, but clearly some people are giving away a lot more than others.
Yes, maybe not meaning to.
Do you want to play the little video that I found?
Yeah, here goes.
I just,
Oh my God, did he fall?
And it's really challenging, I know, with children home from school and working from home. But just trying to just keep all of those distractions out of them.
When the whole page comes out.
no, don't touch the computer, the whole metal part of the screen.
The monitor itself.
Don't use the mouse.
Okay. Now, it says mute, stop video.
No, I don't want you to do anything on the
Share,
computer.
share screen.
I don't want you to do anything on the computer.
In reality, I've heard that social work kind of has very high standards and like great standards. Other professions don't have. Hold on.
They blurred it out.
This is my favorite, their faces.
Is this real? This, what do you think?
I'm not sure about this one. Their faces, though, they looked pretty shocked. I don't know. I think we could work in a confessions. I'm sure that's happened to some of us.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant, that, definitely. But there's some serious side of this as well, is there?
Absolutely. This is not just all about the bloopers. As we've said before, our spaces are becoming even more important to us. And kind of like second time round, I know a lot of people never did actually return to the office space. So this is just a continuation of working from home. But having a dedicated workspace is even more important. And it can be the difference between a balanced work and home life. I came across a clip from the founder and editor of the Homeworker magazine, a lady called Louise Goss. If you want to play a short bit of that video, Simon, she talks about spaces at home.
Yep, sure. Do that now.
And the other thing, again, that people do talk about, and I want to go on to some sort of different things, is to have a dedicated office space. Now, I kind of take a bit of... I have two thoughts on this because, first of all, yes, it's very important. It would be lovely to be able to close the door and have your own office space. But particularly if you're not a regular home worker, that isn't always possible. We don't always, all of us, have our own special room that we can just close off and use as an office. Most of us, a lot of people, will find ourselves working from the kitchen table or the dining table or even the living room at times. It is important to keep a dedicated space for your work, purely because, well, for two reasons. First, for your own benefit, so that you have a workspace that when you go to that spot, that's where you're working, and the rest of the house is for living. But equally for your own family, the other people that you live with, who don't want to feel as if they're working in an office environment, and they want to be able to have relaxing time. So, try and keep that workspace as confined as possible is what I would say. And make it like an office environment to a point. It's lovely to be able to put all your own things around it and customise it and, have photographs and pictures and candles, and that's one of the joys of being able to work from home. But equally do make it, if it helps you, a professional space, so that, you've got your notebooks and your stationery and your laptop and your various things, and it's not basically being crowded and littered with other things that you'd associate just with life in the home.
Yeah, I think it's so important, isn't it, that ownership of an area.
It really is. I mean, Louise kind of states the obvious a little bit there in terms of having that dedicated space, but you might have just spent the last 6 months at the kitchen table and you might just need a change of scenery. And I think as well, it's as much for you, but also if you share your home or living space with other people, you don't, again, it's another way of kind of making sure that you've got work time at your workspace and the rest of it is home time. So yeah, it's something to think about. You know, it's V2 of your work environment. What's it going to look like? What's your winter setup going to look like?
Yeah.
Where are you going to look, buddy?
I think it's really important, isn't it? It's really important. And if you haven't done it first time round, then this time is the time to do this. And yeah, you know, the future looks bright, but what we do know is some businesses are making some bold decisions around what the future looks like. And this word hybrid, that I know there's a few discussions going around what that might be, we'll figure that out. And there will be probably an element of this going forward, without a doubt. Thank you. And then each week you're going to bring some other expert opinion. Is that the aim of this section?
We've already got some people booked in to actually come and take part, so I won't give the game away yet.
Okay.
I look forward to introducing you to them.
Normally people say that when they haven't done the homework yet, so okay, fantastic. Let's move on to the next part, and this does have a jingle.
Oh God.
That's a jingle, isn't it? That. So yeah, so each week what we're going to do is share with you something we found on the internet, good, bad, and indifferent. So the first thing I wanted to do, and again, our job here is to bring some knowledge and some guides, and that's very much going to be the aim of this. But there's also some great resources out there already. One of them, believe it or not, I found was actually the NHS Working from Home 7 Top Tips. And if you do a search for that, it'll come up at the top there. There were things that we know already, but I did think good old NHS again stepping up in a time of need. What were these? Exactly one thing that you said there about that dedicated workspace. That was their number 2. They also talked about routine and how important routine was. And I totally echo that. I think you've still got to feel like you're going to work, even if physically you're not. Taking a break, as you would in the world of work or the physical world of work, grabbing that tea, grabbing that coffee. It's hard when you're in your kitchen all the time, isn't it, to actually have those dedicated breaks, but don't feel guilty about that walk or putting on the TV or radio. Stay connected. And I think try and find those new ways to stay connected. I've heard some lovely examples of that. I think you might have something to share on that as well later, Victoria. Set those boundaries, what you do and what you don't do. Think longer term is what we're hearing now. Is this, you know, this probably is going to be for, or a part of this for the foreseeable future. So start thinking with that long play in mind. And finally, be kind to yourself. And I don't think there could be a truer thing right now. I think, yes, it's kindness to others, but you've got to be kind to yourself as well, don't you?
I think that's the most important one, really, isn't it? Like, you might be feeling a bit in a funk at the moment, or thinking, God, what's next? And can I keep doing this? But try not to dwell too much on like the past if you felt a bit like that, and just kind of look ahead and find the thing that helps you. And it'll be different for everybody else. You know, one thing that works for one person might not work for another.
Now you say this, and I've got another thing that I found on the internet, and I found it in a strange way. So recently I've been running some panels for virtual facilitation for Google, and people have been able to bring their own topics, and many of them have been how to survive lockdown in a positive way. And I kept hearing this same thing again and again from different people, and it's a thing called the morning pages. It's just snuck in at the bottom there. If you search morning pages, Victoria, have you heard of morning pages before?
No.
So it's journaling, but it's kind of a type of journaling where journaling, is that the word? Journaling. Yes. Like every morning, writing down, that process of writing down. And these morning pages is where you sit and you write down your thoughts without any agenda. And it was incredible how many times this came up in these presentations. I'm talking like, 66% of the time, that kind of frequency. And people did it different ways. Some did just let unconscious writing 2 or 3 pages. Some people just put those 2 or 3 things that they want to get out of the day. But it was incredible how that process of writing actually led to a happy day as well. So I thought it was just a nice thing to share.
So it's less so about almost your to-do list and more about all those thoughts that are often swimming in your head.
Exactly that. It's not about the to-do list, which I think is quite important. Be that could creep into it, but it becomes less of a functional task and more of a creative task of let's just let a few things flow here. Interesting, really, really interesting. So, and then something else I found as well, which I absolutely love. Now, this isn't brand new, so you might have seen this before, but let me give you the background of this. This is a lady in America called Lizette Ocampo, and she's a head of a non-profit organization called People for the American Way. And she was pretty much new to technology and this way of working, and she had a Zoom call with her colleagues. Unfortunately, someone had been on her computer first, and accidentally during the meeting, she turned herself into a potato. Have you seen this? Right, so this was quite a serious meeting where accidentally she turned herself into a potato. Unfortunately, she had no way of understanding how to unpotatofy herself. So she did the entire meeting as a potato. And just look how unhappy she is. And why do we know about this? Because her boss, a colleague took a picture and tweeted it, and all the publications picked it up, and said, my boss is a potato, and she can't figure out how to unpotato herself. So the entire meeting, she was a potato.
I guess there's worse things she could have been.
Oh, well, yes, there is, isn't there, Victoria? Yes. So the internet's a wonderful place, So let's move on to our final section, something for the weekend. And you have a jingle, just to warn you.
Oh, yay!
Ready?
Come on, then.
Oh, me and my jingles. Hang on. Let's go again.
Wow.
What have you got?
Something for the weekend. Right. The focus has been so much about working from home. We've got to have some kind of fun and excitement back into our lives, haven't we? We can't let these lines blur. So, time to rest, time to have fun, time to keep our weekends alive. I found a few things that I thought might be of interest to people this weekend to check out.
Yep.
Rain Dance Film Festival. It's one of the biggest independent film festivals in the UK. I'll be honest, I'd not heard of it before, but they've taken it online. They're doing it all kind of virtually and releasing anything from like shorts to feature-length movies to music videos. They've actually extended it so it finishes on Sunday night. So over this weekend you can check it out. It's called Rain Dance Film Festival. They're also, it's free, but you have the opportunity to send a donation, and the donation goes to support people that work in the arts, which is obviously heavily impacted at the moment. The other thing, you might be bored of Zoom lockdown quizzes. I know you love a Zoom lockdown quiz, don't you, Simon?
Yes.
Why not try Sing King Virtual Karaoke? It's on YouTube. They've got 8 million subscribers, and they've got an app, and you can basically pick popular songs or classics to sing along to, and you can do it with your friends. Holidays are coming. Oh, how would you do that? You can have a go at that.
Are you going to do one now for us?
Not right now. Maybe next time.
Okay.
We'll see.
Okay. I'll make a note.
Holidays are coming. I know. I've seen in some people's windows, not that I'm a snooper, Christmas trees are up already.
I don't know how I feel about this.
Well, I think some people possibly it's our Christmas trees, obviously not up, but people are just looking ahead and think, what the hell? And, you know, good for them if it makes them happy. But many local independent crafters, sellers, businesses are really trying to obviously make a difference this year, because we really need to support our independence right now and shopping local. So there's been things like make your own Christmas wreath at home. So they give you the whole kit. So check out like your local independent garden centres, florists for stuff like that. Also make a cake. They give you all the stuff. So any kind of like baking companies that might be near you, there's quite a few in Leeds City Centre that might be doing stuff like that. Anything like that. Craft kits for kids. I've seen a massive rise in the number of people actually just kind of setting up their own little businesses from their kitchen table, where they set up little craft kits that they can literally send in the post, and you've got something different to do with either your children or it's a grown-up activity as well. And you might be missing the holidays this year, missing those mini breaks. I know many people like to take their weekends and go off jetting around Europe or around the UK, and that might be something that you're missing. One of the things I came across was the World Storytelling Cafe. It started in Morocco, and it was actually a physical cafe, and they took it online and they wanted to share stories about Marrakesh and all the places that they feature, and it actually went worldwide, and lots of people started to join in and share their stories of where they are in the world or where they've visited in the world. So it's almost transporting you there through the medium of storytelling. So that might be nice to check out.
Lovely. And just all these links, Victoria, where can people find them? We haven't spoke about this, but where could people find all these?
We will share them all on the Leeds Boost social media pages. So check them out. Go to Twitter, Instagram, your usual places, and we'll share them there.
Lovely.
I also had a chat with Diane Wainwright. You mentioned Diane briefly earlier, Simon. She's the manager of Ambition Leeds. For those of you that don't know, Ambition is like the dedicated training academy and space in Leeds, just near Trinity. I'm saying that, it's up in the big tall building. I spoke to Diane as part of this project, and I was really interested to find out what she's been doing, how she's spending her weekends, and also we talked about the importance of having something to look forward to.
Okay, let me play that video now for you.
For me, it's so important to think about what you are looking forward to. It's almost like there's things that happen during the week that give you that bit of a spark and kind of get you through the day or get you to the next thing. And then there's things that you hear, the news, all this sort of horrible stuff or things that you don't really want to do that kind of, in a way, again, you've got to get through those moments feeling low. And I do think that having that something to look forward to is a vital part of that process, really. And that's how I like to think about my week, really. You know, things that maybe I've got to do but I don't want to do, or situations that you hear about, the news and all of that negative stuff. But then on a daily basis, there's the little bits of things that might trickle in, but having something to look forward to at the weekend kind of gets you through the week. And then to me, it makes the week pass really, really quickly as well. So that's why I do like to know what I'm going to be doing, whether it's a treat for me, whether it's just going somewhere, whether it's doing something different. It all counts and all kind of makes a difference. And I'm really interested to know as well what other family members are doing. And even, like Saturday just gone, I had a Zoom call with my sister because I've not seen her for weeks and weeks. And so we kind of arranged that on Saturday morning at 11 o'clock, we would sit down and we'd have a coffee and we'd just have a natter. And that, again, was something really lovely to what we talked about before we knew it. You know, an hour had gone by, and yeah, it was just lovely to have that time. I wouldn't ordinarily on a Saturday morning sit down with a cup of coffee.
It was great talking to Diane and catching up with her. This is going to be a standard feature for all of our series. So if you'd like to get involved, if you want to come on and tell us what you're looking forward to at the weekend, or if there's something that you've seen that you want other people to know about, contact us and you could feature.
Love it, love it, love it. Thank you, Victoria. Thank you, Diane, as well from that. So I think we're about time. We're probably over time if I'm honest. So it's just a massive thank you to everybody that's joined us for this one. Again, in future we're going to be live doing this, so this is where it could all go very, very wrong. Even with the edits, this has gone wrong in places. Thank you, Victoria. Thank you, Diane, as well. Thank you, Leedsbid, obviously being behind this and funding it. And thank you, my army of musicians that have put together these jingles for this. I'm going to end with the theme tune, but before I do, Victoria, one final word.
Goodbye.
It's good for me.
You're working from home and sometimes that can be hard to do, and you need a little help, oh yes, it's true. So take a listen to the Working From Home Survival Guide. Na 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 na. Oh, it is the Working From Home Survival Guide.